What is with all the clickbait? So, hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and we're going to do the first Q&A today. And if you're wondering why the truck's on, it's because it is freezing outside. So we're going to do the Q&A inside of the truck. So, let's just get right to it. So if you guys are wondering where this came from, I made a post on the main channel about this, saying that I'm going to start posting this kind of content on the second channel, obviously. So we're going to do the Q&A quickly, and yeah, let's just get into it, honestly. So the first question, sorry, and I'm a little bit sick still, so if I keep having to clear my throat, my apologies. What is happening with the investigation on Mitch McConnell's? So, before I read the rest of this question, I don't really get into politics. I read up on them to an extent, but I try to stay away from them because usually they're negative. Sometimes they're positive, but for the most part they're negative, and I try to keep negative things out of my life because I try to just do positive stuff. So, yeah. Not gonna answer that question. Maybe the next one will be good. So, this one is by Laramo A. I'll go to the dark side and mention it again. Ever think of starting a OnlyFans page? Probably can make just as much as YouTube. And I've considered doing something like this. What I've considered doing is maybe doing like a Patreon page, but then I'm like, not really. What I've really toyed with the idea of is making like my own website, essentially, and uploading all the videos that I upload onto YouTube a day early onto that website, so then, you know, people could have like exclusive access to content way before everyone else gets it, and then also maybe having merchandise associated with it, and then people that are obviously subscribed to that get a discount on the merchandise. So definitely in the works. Not gonna happen anytime soon probably, but definitely in the works. Next one is Drive On Reviews. Says he has a lot to ask, so let's get going on this. What is a good scheduling to upload reviews on his channel, essentially, is the first question in there. So what I pick schedule-wise has changed over time. But what I found is just to be consistent with your schedule. So if you film, let's say, 3 reviews a week, make sure that you film 3 reviews every single week, no matter what. Just consistency, that's the first thing. In terms of when to upload, I mean, it really varies. I've tried early in the morning now, and it's been okay. It hasn't made me get more views than before, so I wouldn't say that it's really changed anything. I'm getting about the same amount of views. But what I'd say is just be consistent with it. So however many reviews that you've decided that you're going to film, make sure that you just stay consistent with that. The next question is, how to get new dealerships to let me film at their dealership? And what I would say with that one is you've just got to ask, and you've got to be okay with rejection. I mean, I made a funny post on this same page earlier last week, or actually it was earlier this week, maybe, or last week. Sorry, time's all over the place right now. But it was last week. I went to like 10, 12 different dealerships, and I only had like 1 or 2 say yes. So yeah, you've got to understand that you're gonna, you know, encounter a lot of rejection. You just got to keep going. If it's something that you're passionate about and that you really want to make a living on, like, you know, what I'm doing now, you just have to be really, really persistent with this kind of stuff, and just keep going until someone says yes. And even if a dealership tells you no at a certain point, ask again in the future. You know, maybe, you know, for my channel, I've had dealerships where they said no to me in the past, and then I've came up and said, hey, well, now I have this many subscribers and I get this many views. Are you interested now? No. And you know what? Keep asking until they say yes. And then the last part of it is good advice for me to improve my videos and channel going forward. So honestly, I'd have to go and watch more of the videos, but what I'd have to say, kind of like as a broad generalization, is just be yourself. It's super helpful if you just, you know, pretty much just be yourself in your videos. Find your own style and own that. Don't try to mimic anyone, because if you just try to mimic anyone, then you're just going to be a copycat, and yeah, people don't really like that. Sorry, my nose just totally blew up on me, so I had to go blow it. But anyways, the next one is by one Sean Bond. Nicely done, thumbs up, peace sign, Canadian flag. Not sure if that's a question, but next one. Who would win in a fight, Chef Boyardee or Colonel Sanders? I actually responded to this one last night because I kind of thought it was funny. So I'll read essentially. I mean, actually, my response wasn't what I wanted it to be. So what I really wanted to say was Chef Boyardee because he's beefy, and Colonel Sanders wouldn't get in a fight because he's too chicken. Next. What is with all the clickbait? So, I actually don't clickbait that often compared to a lot of other channels, but I do it from time to time. The most recent video was the Power Wagon delivery video, but I put taking delivery of a Power Wagon, not my Power Wagon. So I thought that that was going to kind of get across to people, but apparently it didn't, and it made Dylan Judge sad or mad or somewhere in between. But, you know, most of the videos that I do, they aren't clickbaity. They're pretty straightforward and to the point. And I understand why people don't like clickbait because it's kind of like a breach of trust, right? You watch a channel and they have a certain form of content that you like watching, and then they put out a thumbnail and a description and a title, and obviously you click on it, and then when it's not what it looked like it was, then you get upset, and that's really what clickbait is. The reason that I do it is why any other channel does it is you get a big bump in views, and sometimes I will post videos just when the circumstance allows for it, and other times I honestly do it just to boost the channel overall, because those clickbait videos, believe it or not, they actually help sometimes with the YouTube algorithms, and they kind of get you pushed out, which then gets more views on your other videos, which helps out. But I don't do it as much as I used to, so yeah, let's keep going. Oh, last question. What's the future plans? Where are you traveling to? And any future purchases by JJ? So, in terms of future plans for the channel, one of the plans is I'm going to be kind of changing direction with the channel, which I'm actually making a video probably today actually. Making a video today to post tomorrow on basically future plans for the main channel. But what I'm essentially doing is I'm going to be posting just automotive content on the main channel. I'm going to keep the personal content to this second channel, and that's what I'm going to use this second channel for. And so more of that will be explained in that video that I post on my main channel, but essentially changing directions with both channels. That's a big update. In terms of future plans for the channel, I intend to keep doing reviews. That's the main source of content for that channel. That's the main source of views and obviously revenue for the channel. So I'm not just going to stop that. I see a lot of YouTubers that do that. I'm not going to name any names, but you guys can probably guess pretty easily that, you know, YouTubers that you've watched that started doing car reviews, and then the second that they got big and where they started making a decent amount of money, they stopped doing what made them successful and what made them popular. I'm not going to do that. I'm not, you know, and I don't like calling other people stupid, but I'm not that stupid where I would stop doing what makes me money now, and I wouldn't do that. That just doesn't make any sense, you know, from a financial standpoint, and then also just from a personal standpoint. I love doing car reviews. I don't want to stop doing what I love doing. Other than that, in terms of future purchases, you guys get to see, this is exclusive since you're subscribed to the second channel. I put a deposit on a C8 Corvette back in June or July last year, whenever they announced it. I think it was June last year. I gave the Chevy dealership a $1,000 deposit, and that was my car that I was planning on getting for next year, was the C8, then the Hellcat truck afterwards. However, I'm 20th in place for the C8 at that dealership, which I was a little bit confused about because I think I was the first person to put a deposit. Yes, I know I've never bought a car from them before, but also I'm in front of 2.5 million people a month right now, and it's only increasing. So I would think that they would want to give me first pick on a car like that, but it is what it is. So what's happening with that is, I'll be straightforward with you guys. If I can't get one of the first allocations, like if it's going to be a thing where I put my order, I would be putting my order in at the same time that like Stradman and I'm guessing Vehicle Virgins will get one. I'm guessing that who else would get one? Oh, Street Speed 717. I don't know why he didn't come across my mind. But yeah, all those people are going to get them. And so if they get theirs way before me, that's okay, as long as it was like, okay, you know, Street Speed 717 gets his, and then I get mine a week later. But if it's like Street Speed 717 gets his, and then I get mine 2 months later, it just doesn't make sense for me from not only a financial standpoint, but just from a content standpoint, because by the time I start, you know, taking delivery of a C8 Corvette, you guys are going to be tapped out because you're going to be like, I already saw 20 people take delivery of a C8 Corvette, and I already seen a wide body twin turbocharged lifted freaking 40-inch whatever tires on them, or you know what I mean. Everything's already going to be done on the Corvette at that point, so it wouldn't make sense for me to purchase one. Now, if that is the case, if that's what happens, then I plan on making the next step. The reason I'm waiting for this is not from an income standpoint, more from a just, you know, long-term, longevity standpoint with the channel. I just want to see how the channel performs at the beginning of next year, so I have like a full year of ad revenue on the channel to see how the channel performs over 365 days. And so if I don't get the C8 Corvette, I will be purchasing a supercar. I have a couple in mind, but that is kind of like the last resort, hoping that I can get an early C8, because I'd rather spend $80,000 than $150,000, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's that. That is going to sum things up for today's video. Thank you everyone for watching, and again, put down in the comment section below the questions you want me to answer in the next video. I will see all of you in that next video.